Shalom, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Merkah Kwadash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth, who rule well and teach well with much diligence. Peace, love, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, kings and priests who are out there laboring, bringing out this word in all sincerity and in all truth. Likewise, shalom unto the sisters and little ones who are also in hopes of mercy at the return of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, when he comes and redeem his elect from the four corners of the wind. I'm the brother Amawan from the Great Millstone Branch of Los Angeles, Southern California, camp of the High Desert region. Back here with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this is edifying. Only Israelites will receive the new bodies. Only Israelites will receive the new bodies. I have a clip here I'd like to share from this channel is off of Genesis Clubhouse. I believe this guy Hassad was having a debate. I'm not too sure who he was having a debate with, but the brother asked him, will the heathens receive glorified bodies? Will they receive the same bodies that the chosen elect will have, the 144,000, when Yahweh Shai comes and change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body? And this is his response. Now, the other nations, they're not receiving anything promised as the Israelites have promised unto them. These other nations are likened unto spittle, as the scriptures say. All right, these other nations are not fit to partake in our adoption. Yahweh Shai didn't come and save no heathen. Okay, actually, the heathens were created for us to serve us. They're not going to have a glorified bodies with us in the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay, they're going to be in a lower state, just like we are in a lower state here now. Okay, so listen to this man Hassad response in this madness, man. You know, like Apostle Hart said, this is the 2026 is the year of apostasy, sellouts, and agents. All right, and that's what you have. You have sellouts, you have agents, and you have those that have turned their faith, turn from the true faith, which is apostasy. That's the definition of apostasy. You're turning from the faith. You're switching up the doctrine. Okay? Because when did these guys start teaching that? You know? They've been teaching all along Israel was the chosen and we're going to be ruling over the other nations, so on and so forth. But listen to this madness, man.
Okay. Do the non-Israelites get glorified bodies? Yes or no?
Um, that's an interesting question. So that's something that I've been studying a little bit more lately, especially as it relates to this topic. There's arguments either way. Nonetheless, the point remains is that the majority of the Gentiles are going to be destroyed or go into slavery. So when we talk about Gentiles receiving glorified
Respectfully,
bodies,
can I get a
it,
solid yes or no for that question?
I got you. Brother.
No,
Notice how I
no,
answered both
no,
your
I don't
first
mind,
question.
but you po like we got kind of this thing where you supposed to lead with a
I,
solid yes or no.
I got you, brother. Well, just let me,
So let me just repeat the question. Will
brother.
non-Israelites
Hold on.
have glorified bodies? Yes or no?
Yes. All right. So it's an interesting question though, because this goes back into something that I've been looking into a lot lately, me and the priest. So um, when we see Paul teaching some of these churches that are clearly not just Israelites there is promises of them receiving certain levels of glorification, etc. But nonetheless, we see them not receiving the same level of glorification as the Israelites do. So I hope that answers your question.
Now, Paul wasn't, when he wrote letters to the church of Corinth, when he wrote letters to the church of the book of Romans, the church in Ephesus, the Ephesians, the church in Thessalonica, the book of Thessalonians, all right, the book of the church in Colossus, which is the Colossians. You know, these were not heathens, all right? These were Israelites that dwelt amongst the heathen. Let's get what James said before I get the point of the matter here. This is James chapter 1. Matter of fact, I'm going to read this and then I'll get another one. This is James chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. The diaspora. We look up the word scattered, it means diaspora. All right, Israelites scattered amongst the other nations. And here this guy, he's talking about you had Israelites. You had Paul didn't just write to the Israelites, he spoke to the heathens too. No, that's not what this is talking about. It's not what the scriptures is talking about. Okay? Paul wasn't teaching the other nations also that they gotta keep our law, statutes, and commandments in order to be saved. No, that's not what Paul was only concerned about the elect. As he said, Israel seeketh his own righteousness and not the righteousness of the Most High. He wasn't speaking on no other nations. So like I said, diaspora for the word scatter, a scattering, dispersion of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations, of the Christians scattered abroad among the Gentiles, Christians, followers of the anointed, which are Israelites that were scattered amongst the other nations. Okay? Literally, you had Israelites scattered amongst the other nations, worshiping and serving their gods, who Paul said, that you were what do you say, fools carried away by these dumb idols, even as you were led. We were carried away by these dumb idols, like as it said in the curses, that we were going to worship wood and stone and a God whom we have not known. That's actually what happened. Okay? So when we was going to be in this defiled state, which the Most High made clean, okay? Going back to the vision with Peter, when the Lord told him, thou shalt not call anything common or clean, what the Most High have cleansed, that call not thou uncommon or clean. Because the Lord was bringing back Israel, okay? Yahweh Shai adopted us back by his blood. This is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shai, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, Bithynia, elect, according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience in the sprinkling of the blood of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Like Elder Barak said, just go back to the book of Exodus, when Moses sprinkled the blood upon the holy book, upon the altar, upon Israel. This same blood that Yahweh Shai shed for us was sprinkled on the hopeful elect, the elect of Israel, because not all Israel is Israel. Okay? Just because the 2/3 deny Israel, that doesn't mean it opened up unto the other nations. Okay? Israel is always the Most High's chosen. And these other nations, they're not going to receive what we're going to receive. Plain and simple. They're not getting no new bodies as us. Okay? They not like us, man. Literally, they not like us. Like Kendrick had this song, "They Not Like Us." Who do you think he's talking about? Which that was a diss to Drake. But what is Drake go back to? Which his dad is an Israelite, but his mom is a small hat. Okay? But it's just going to show you that these heathens, they not like us, man. They will never be like us. They will never partake in what we have. They will never be under the house of David. And yes, King David didn't have no heathens in his kingdom. All right, in his convoy. All right, in his army. Okay, you had Israelites scattered, even back in the time of David, man. You had Israelites scattered, man. Lord said our enemy was going to chase us one way. We was going to flee 7 different ways. Israel has been scattered way before the Greeks. We as a nation, we've been going off, man. Since we came out of the wilderness. Since we inherited the promised land. Shit, you had Jake going off when Moses went up to get the commandments on Mount Sinai. Okay? So our people constantly been going off and constantly being scattered, tossed like a ball into these other nations. And the Lord constantly drawing us back by raising up his prophets, the true men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. They're not switching up the doctrine, they're not switching up the names. Okay? They're continuing the things which they have learned. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right, this 3 days and a half represent the time of our slavery, 350 plus years, from 1619 all the way to 1960, the late 60s, early 70s. Our people was in a dead estate. But the Lord put the spirit upon a man by the name of Abba Bivens, rose him up, which is John the Baptist in the reincarnation, to bring back the tribes, man. And now you got what you see here today. You got a slew of Israelites, all right, proclaiming who they truly are. And you got agents out there that were once a part of this thing that crept in the unawares, sold out. Now they're going contrary to what they learned. You know? They're just demolishing, they're the demolishing crew, which they're not going to break down anything. They're not going to break down the faith for the elect. But they will be a stumbling block, okay, unto those that have itching ears. Those that feel a certain way that may be taken away by what they say. Okay? But great fear fell upon them which saw them. Our enemies, when they seen us come up, proclaiming who we are, our rightful stead in the world, the nations fear that. Because the Lord said the Lord was going to rise up a kingdom in the midst of these kingdoms. What's that kingdom? That kingdom is the nation of Israel. And that kingdom is not coexisting with other nations. Okay, idols are afar off. No. It's going to be the other nations at the bottom, and we're going to be at the top. We're going to be the head, and we're not going to be the tail anymore. Okay? Here it is. This nigga Elon Musk can build all these damn new robots. He's building super suits for his people. But where are you Jakes at that got any partake in that? He got this artificial blessing he's coming up with where he can fucking hover in his hover suit and all this shit. Where's your blessing at, Jake? Where are you a part of that in this man's blessing? You're not. But yet you think he's going to be changed and be fashioned like we are. No. We're going to be the gods of the earth. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right? What's that cloud? That cloud is those chariots. It ain't going to be no other nations entering into that chariot except for the nation of Israel. Okay? And that's going to be the nation that's going to be changed. And our enemies is going to behold us. And they're going to be burnt here. They're going to see us go up in those ships. They're going to see us change in the twinkling of an eye. Okay? They're going to see it all happening. They're going to have no part in that. They're going to wish they can be a part of that. Just like the Ammonite during the time of Balak, when he sent Balaam to curse Israel. And Balaam told him, man, I wish I can be like Israel for the blessing that's to come for them. Because even he knew he didn't have no part in this, but he knew what type of blessing Israel was going to receive. So don't listen to these dudes, man. Genesis, don't listen. Don't, please, man. That's to your own downfall. You Jakes out there, man. You listening to Genesis, the beginning. Niggas is always talking about we gotta start with the new age. You know what I'm saying? It's a way with the elders is done away with. Nah, you know how long these niggas been saying that? And the elders is still here confounding you niggas. Still here on the same steadfastness, same energy. And ain't nothing changed. Only you changed. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, And in the earthquake there were slain the men 7,000, and a remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven, which is talking about the missiles. The 7,000 represent, it's going to be a complete number of death, man. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. That remnant is the chosen, the elect. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And these other nations, right, they ain't going to be saved, man, and beamed up where we at, you know, coming down from the heavenly ships. They have no part in that, man. They have no part in our blessing. This is 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 27. Be not weary, for when a day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. See, the heathens are going to envy us because they don't have what we have. All right? Starting with Esau, Edom. He is that profane. He's that profane. He's the only neighbor of the Israelites, as the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary say, that received no mercy from the God of Israel. Okay? Esau don't have no mercy. He's in this consolation now. All right? He seeks to destroy the nation of Israel as he do daily. So his envy, he's going to be envying us. Wish he has what he has. You see him envying now. Just go look at the new movie Avatar. All right? Which the Avatar was a very spiritual movie, man. One of the main characters his name was Jake, man. And Jake, he was changed into like the avatars. Okay, and everybody, the humans, they wanted to be like Jake. They wanted to partake in what he had. Okay, so they can also all be the same. But he was the only one chosen that can be changed and be like the gods. Okay, that's Esau trying to
upgrades.
Salakia, man.
Has to have him thinking twice. Wouldn't you?
Wow.
You want paradise.
I don't know if you brothers caught what this dude just said on the TV. If y'all heard it. He said they have the key elements in change or something like that. But I was just speaking, you know, how Jake in the movie, he received power like the Avatar, and the other humans wanted to be a part of it. But he was the only one chosen. And you can liken that unto Jacob and Esau. They all came from the same mother, but one was stronger than the other. And the Lord, they ain't done no good or evil. And the Lord chose Jake and not Esau to receive the blessing. All right? And he was protected in that movie. Although they go off with the whole God is a woman and they got their own, thing about it. But the point I'm trying to make is, all right, only Israel, only Jacob is going to be the ones that's going to receive the blessing. That's going to receive the new bodies. That's going to have that standard that's going to be lifted up and be mounted up with wings as an eagle. We're the only ones that's going to receive that. Okay? Verse 29, my hand shall cover thee so that thy children shall not see hell. The ships, man. All right, the angels. We have a heavenly host to watch over us. You got the angels watching over. You got the chariots. This is Revelation chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Talking about Esau's world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau is not going to be joint heirs with Jacob in our kingdom, man. Did you see Jacob receiving good things in Esau's world? Hell no. Esau received his consolation. This motherfucker is doing gene editing. He got underground bunkers. He got the best of the best. and you tribes are just suffering. Meanwhile, you got sellouts trying to tell you that they're going to receive the same thing we got. Nah, man. Not even by a long shot. Verse 2, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. New Jerusalem. These other nations ain't a part of that. These other nations are not a part of that. You're not going to have a mixed multitude here on this side that's going to go up in the ships. You're not going to have that. In the first, when we passed over Egypt, yeah, you had the heathens, you know, the mixed multitude that was amongst us, that was serving us, that was used for our servitude. They were also delivered to for our sake. But here on this side, they're not about to be delivered. Go up in the ships and no, that's not going to happen. Okay? It says, verse 3, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their God. Okay? So we're going to be gods on the planet Earth, man. The Heavenly Father is going to be with us.